happy Monday, 7th grade. So I hope you had a wonderful weekend. We're going to review percents in 2 parts this week. We're going to do part 1, that's be 3 questions, little Schoology check-in, part 2, just 3 questions, a little Schoology check-in, and then a problem set. So if I take a look at this question, there's a lot of information here. But the first part tells me that there's 720 watches that are going to be available for sale throughout the month, but they only release 6.25 of these watches each day. So we want to know how many after 5 days. So let's take a look. Well, first let's find the amount for each day. So for one day, we know that we're going to start with our total of 720 watches, but we need 6.25% of. Remember, of tells us that we need to multiply by that 6.25%. So you can either use your fraction to decimal button, you can use your percent button on your calculator, or if you need to get 6.25% as a decimal, you can do 6.25 divided by 100, and that will give you your 0.0625, which that would be it as a decimal. So again, you can use your calculator, you can use your handy dandy mental math, you can use any technique that will help you remember that you're going to need to move the decimal point 2 places. Because remember, 6.25%, want to go to a decimal, need to move it 2 places, and that would be 0.0625. So that is 6.25% as a decimal. Just to keep that tucked away in your back of your brain space. Which when I do this calculation here, I see that that's going to be 45 watches, but that's only for one day. It's telling me, again, that I need it for 5 days. So if I need it for, if I can get my pencil right here, if I need it for 5 days, I would need to take the 45 times 5, which that's going to give me, put my label on there, 5 times 5 is 25, carry the 5, 225 watches, and that's for 5 days. Again, remembering that for 5 days, that's 225 watches. The 45 would just be for one day. So remember, it's super important when reading these questions to see what you are being asked, because although you automatically might have said, oh, it's going to be 45 watches for one day, remember the question was asking for 5 days. And please don't forget that you can pause, rewind, or even if you want to email me with questions, I'm more than happy to help. So we're going to move on to another example on the next slide. I'm going to pause it and I want to have you try it, and then you'll check your answer. Alrighty, so I'd like you guys to try this. I'm going to read you the question, I'm going to give you some time to pause, and then I'll put up my answer. It says that there's an item priced at $13.35. If the sales tax is 8%, what does the item cost including the tax? So I'm going to go ahead and ask you guys to go ahead and pause it and try yourself. Alrighty, I'm going to show my answer in 3, 2, 1. Alrighty, so here is Miss Lieber's answer here, $14.42. So how I got that was I took the original price that they gave me, that $13.35, and I needed to multiply that by the tax. Well, the tax rate was 8%, and remember, we just talked in that last problem to make sure to turn it into a decimal. So I did 8 divided by 100 to get 0.08, or you can move the decimal 2 places, or you can use the percent button on your calculator. So I went ahead and multiplied the original cost by the tax as a decimal, which gave me $1.07. Now, my calculator gave me 1.068. When you go to the grocery store, they don't take it further than the nearest hundredth. So I went ahead and rounded because I saw here that it was 1.068. That tells me to round it up to $1.07. So when I go to find my total, I'm going to take my original of that $13.35 and add the tax of the $1.07 to get $14.42. Again, please don't hesitate. If you have any questions, feel free to rewind the video, play it again, or email me with questions. So we're going to do the same thing. Another question is going to pop up on the screen. I'm going to give you time to read it, pause it, try it yourself, and then we will go over the answer. Alrighty, so this question, although it looks a little different, it's still going to be using our knowledge of percents. I'm going to read it to you, highlight some key information, and then I will have you pause it, try it on your own, and you can check your answer. So it says Kendra has a painting that was 21 inches wide by 38 inches high, and it says she painted a rose that covered 50% of the canvas. It says what area of the canvas is covered by the rose? So keyword here being area, so think about what you might have to do. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ask you to pause it, and then I'm going to show you my answer in 3, 2, 1. Alrighty, so this question had you think outside the box a little bit. It asked you first to find the area of the original canvas, which you saw Miss Lieber took her dimensions here of 21 inches wide by 38 inches high, and again an area of a rectangle, because the canvas is going to be a rectangle, is length times width. So the area of the original, let me fix my spelling. Area of the original would be 21 times 38, giving us the 798 inches squared. You can also write out inches squared if you felt like it. If you wanted to write inches squared or inches with the word squared, either way, making sure to keep that unit, because when we do area, it's always inches times inches is going to give us inches squared. But it then said the rose covered 50% of the canvas. So in order to do that 50% of the canvas, I had to take 50% and multiply it by that area. So I did 0.50 or 0.5 times the area. You also could have, because it's 50%, just divided 798 by 2. Again, that's another way to look at it. But we found the area first and then did 50% of that, and of, again, remember, tells us to multiply. So again, feel free to rewind, pause, go back over, or more than welcome to send me an email if you have any questions. So this concludes part 1 of these 3 examples. Please make sure to log into Schoology and complete that quick little Schoology checkup before proceeding on to the next video. It's a great day to have a great day.